Welcome to CFC Fan TV. Now, what a weekend we had. A 4-0 win over West Brom. Tony Pulis has now gone, hasn't he? Which is quite a shame. I think we'll start off on that. I think he's a fantastic manager. I just think, obviously, when results don't come in, sometimes clubs need a change, and I think it's better to do it sooner rather than later. You don't want to get to the end of the season and find yourself relegated. So, sad day for him. But yeah, none other. I think he's a great manager. Anyway, we have got a topic to discuss, and it's something that we have discussed in recent weeks. And at the end of the day, after our 4-0 win and our clean sheet, you can't help but wonder, is David Luiz ever going to make it back into the team? Let's start off with saying, we were talking about Christensen. He, for me, it has to start every game as long as he's playing like he does. Antonio Conte has come out and basically said that Christensen is keeping David Luiz out of the team, and you know, it's fair enough. I mean, I know people don't think it's as black and white as that, and Conte says it says that it's a tactical decision, which, to be fair, you know, in a way, yes, it definitely is. Do I think it's as black and white as that? No, of course not. But I do believe that there is some there is some truth in that. I mean, even if that's not the reason Conte's playing him, Conte's not playing him, I mean, it says itself. The scoreline tells the truth, and that is the fact that we scored 4 fantastic goals. Okay, fine, West Brom aren't Manchester City, or they aren't Arsenal, but you never know in any Premier League game. I mean, results always shock you. So we scored 4 goals, 4 fantastic goals, and we, more importantly, kept a clean sheet. And I think, to be fair, a lot of that has to do with Christensen playing. I think for a long time everybody's thought that Gary Cahill is the problem. By no means do I think he's up to the standard of Dave, but I do think that a lot of the criticism he gets is a little bit tough. And even for a while I was like, right, no, Cahill can't be in the team, because I'm sort of getting, you know, swayed by your lot's comments and Rory's feelings and Charlie's feelings towards him. But I really, you know, don't think that he is the main problem. I think the back line needs a player like Christensen, and I think what Conte says is exactly correct. It's a tactical decision. He goes on, and Conte, I think, he's done some sort of interview, I think he talked about it in his press conferences, things like that, but he's basically said, you know, look at it this way. Eden Hazard is, well, what, Chelsea's #1 in some of your eyes? I think Kante sort of takes that role for me, but, you know, either way, there's not much difference between them. And he was left out when he came back from injury, until he sort of got himself back into the swing of things and everything like that. So I think there's lots of reasons. I know that was an injury, but at the same time, Conte's telling you, you know, doesn't matter how big your name is, if you're not fully fit, if you're not right, if you're not going to make the team better, if I don't think that you're going to get us results, if I think there's a better option out there for this moment in time, then that's what I'm going to do. He then, you know, goes on basically in the same vein as that, and to talk more about it, because I think the tabloids are trying to make out like there is some sort of underlying issue between the two of them. Of course, we all know they've had a fallout, but it could just be that David Luiz said, I want to play every single game, and Conte said, no, this is what's going to happen, and so on and so forth. And I think that's more than fair enough. I understand for David Luiz, he's a fantastic player, fantastic personality, that can be quite frustrating. But, you know, like I say in one of my last videos about Fabregas being a perfect example, you know, if you're going to follow anybody, follow his footsteps, because he's now performing great as well. I mean, I got the team right in my preview, all bar Fabregas and Pedro, and I stand corrected. I definitely should have put Fabregas in there. But yeah, you know, either way, I was thrilled with that result, and I just want to see what you guys think, because a lot of you are avid David Luiz supporters, but you cannot question or deliberate on how good Christensen was at the weekend, and you can't justify taking him out of the team. Because if you really want David Luiz to play, you tell me, comment below which player you would rather put in at the moment, because as far as I'm concerned, the team performed fantastically, we gelled together, it seemed like the right formation, and that's really all you need. So if David Luiz needs to be dropped for us to pick up 3 points, for us to get back on our feet, for us to get back on a roll, for us to start winning games again, then that to me is what needs to happen. In terms of David Luiz and Antonio Conte's relationship, how that's going to go, I mean, there's loads of rumours, isn't there, of him wanting to go to Man United and work under Jose Mourinho in January, actually, as soon as January. But I think that's probably a little bit too premature. and we need to sort of see how things unfold. I think we've got definitely enough room for David Luiz in the side. Is he going to play every single game? Maybe not. I mean, the likes of Fabregas, the likes of Pedro, Willian, they don't play every single game. I don't see any of this sort of, you know, just silliness, you know, getting angry, kicking up a fuss. I suppose, you know, in anybody's job, you're always going to have arguments with your superiors, but I think this sort of needs to be dropped now, because for me, the bottom line is that Christensen has to play in this team. Antonio Conte thinks Christensen is definitely the way to go, and I'm glad he's finally realised it, because he was dropped, I think, out of the Man City game, wasn't he? And that really wasn't, you know, a good decision. So do me a favour, comment below, am I right about Christensen? Would you rather have David Luiz in the side? If so, who would you drop if it's not Christensen? For me, I think, you know, we're well on the way to moving forward now. I think we've had our dip in the season. I think this was a perfect confidence boost. I think this was a perfect game for us to play and, you know, get back to our winning ways, and that's sort of what we're doing now. So yeah, do me a favour, comment below. What do you think of the whole situation, and do you think Christensen deserves a first team place? Because for me and for Antonio Conte, it is a definite he has to play. And yeah, I'll see you all super soon.